second string, but we don't never sit the bench. Rising stars of the radio, now watch as we ascend. Second string telling the truth, there's no need to take offense. Grant Jake Logan in the booth, so you better pay attention.
All right, welcome back to another edition of the Second String Sports Show. I'm Jake.
Logan.
Grant.
And filling in for the lost co-host, Jeff Lowe, is a special guest. Why don't you introduce yourself?
My name's Evan, a.k.a. EA Bash on Twitter. Strawberry Jams, you might recognize me from the intro song on the previous Second String Oregon State radio show.
You're actually still
We're
technically
currently
on.
still using that song until we get the new one. So you just heard Evan on the intro, so yeah, it's lit.
That's what's up. I'm just getting my swipes in Logan's neighborhood, some different girls around here, so...
We have a Tinder podcast. That'll be good for a good sports dynamic. You can take a break from talking sports and just fill us in on the.
Yeah, I can tell you who I would swipe left on the Oregon State O lineman, but we'll save that for a later segment.
Ooh, that's a new segment. Swipe left, swipe.
Swipe left, swipe right.
I like it. Anyways, Jeff could not make it for this episode. Has some technical difficulties. So sorry, Jeff, if you're listening to this when we post it. We love you. You'll be back for the next episode. Episode NFL edition coming this weekend, actually. So look out for that. Anyways, man, do we have a...
Do we talk about last week of what happened for Oregon State football, or do we just...
I'm pretty sure there's really no reason... I mean, I know Evan has a few opinions on it, but let's just give a quick synopsis. Oregon State, Colorado.
All right.
Did we all retract our picks last week and say that we thought Oregon State would lose the game?
I'm pretty sure all of us did retract her because we did the predictions to start the year, and I think
we all picked
half
Oregon
of us,
State.
Or maybe I think half of us had winning. I think it was just you and I, Jake, if I recall. Yeah. I can't remember.
We're some dumbasses.
But no, we did retract it, and we put them back on the Duck game later in the future. But we kind of saw, wow, Colorado's looking pretty good type of a deal, and kind of gave us a little bit of a slim hope, but I didn't see it developing to what it happened.
It was just an obliteration from start to finish, pretty much. Oregon State scored first, and after that, it was just it was downhill from there.
Yeah, we've kind of done that in the past couple of games where we score first and it was like, okay, this could be looking pretty good, but everything else, we didn't even have that second half push of what we had in a couple games, and to give a final score for everyone to relive, 47-6.
Have you ever seen one of those cartoons where they tie down the hero to the train tracks and then the train's approaching and everyone scrambles to help him? Mm-hmm. Oregon State's like the guy that got tied to the train tracks and then nobody came to help him and the train just came and just crushed him. Just R.I.P. Colorado being that train.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think the
big ass train.
The biggest positive note I think you have to maybe take out of it.
This is really putting it lightly as well.
Is we only did give up 10 points there in the second half. That's about it.
Another big positive, they bothered to show up to practice Monday, so we do get to go to the game Saturday.
Yeah, it's kind of a lot of the similar story from the Boise State game. Very slow start where we get down in a huge hole and then play a little bit better in the second half. But who knows if that's more them just letting up a little bit or us playing a little bit better. Who knows? You can't dig yourself into a hole, especially in the Pac-12 like that.
And we also saw the same quarterback situation unfold as well that happened at Boise State.
Yeah, Garrettson in.
We'll talk about that later in the show.
Blunt in later.
Yeah. What did you guys think of that? Would you having Garrettson come out, Blunt coming in.
Garrettson deserved to be benched, that's for sure. I think we're all riding the same wave of the fact that, Blunt's not the answer. What do you guys think? Do you want him to be playing right now? I think we were all under the opinion that I think McMarion should be getting some sets, but
free McMarion.
I don't know what's going on with
McMarion.
that. It has to be a practice situation or an attitude situation.
He's a gamer. You've seen what he did in the Civil War against the Ducks. I don't care if he's not balling in practice. Put that boy in the game.
I agree.
Let me read the quarterback stats real quick from Colorado. Daryl Garrettson.
Do we have a shit soundbite we can just plug in here?
Yeah, seriously. You're going to need it after this. So Garrettson, 5 for 16 for 55 yards. That is a 3.4 yards per pass average or completion average. And 0 TDs, 0 interceptions, 17.6 QBR. Blunt was 8 for 16 for 45 yards and 2 picks. That is a QBR of, wait for it, 0.7. So yeah, that was our QB situation.
We got our cheeks bongo drummed.
Thinking Seth Collins could be the answer.
He couldn't be worse than what we have right now.
Couldn't be worse, but I don't. You think that there's even a % chance of that happening?
Yes.
With what we've seen so far, probably.
Yeah, like a 1. Give a %.
I think 33% chance you see Seth Collins take meaningful reps at quarterback this season.
Ooh.
Why 33? What's the symbolization of that?
Because 2 out of 3 times it won't happen, but 1 in 3 times it will.
Well,
some percentage of education for Jake here.
Suck arse at math, so I still don't understand.
but no, we had another blow to the offensive line. Our boy Fred, he went down with an injury. I'm not sure what his status is coming in for this upcoming week. And Sean Harlow came into the game. There's Sean. Evan, how do you feel about Sean Harlow coming back?
I would appreciate it if Sean Harlow would remain on the bench. Sean Harlow is the best lineman in the NCAA at touching no one. He made the defensive end for Colorado. I don't even know his name, but he smoked him about 4 or 5 times. Guy looks like a first-round NFL pick. The Sean Harlow patty cake of the week, patty cake of the month. If Sean Harlow came up on my Tinder, not only would I swipe left, I would delete the app.
So there you go. That's pretty telling right there. And you did hear Sean Harlow after the game. He said he took some responsibility for some rust. But this is... I
think he's been rusty for the past couple of years. Man, that's tough.
It's like a freaking wrench that's been in the shed for 30 years.
If I saw rust, that would mean he was putting in effort to block somebody.
Rust means you're a grizzled vet. He's not there yet.
We got some people in Corvallis dressing up like clowns. Sean Harlow dresses up like a ghost when he plays left tackle.
Whoa, this is taking a turn.
This episode might just be titled "The
Go
Roast of
Beavs!
Sean
I
Harlow."
support you because you play for Oregon State, but seriously, block somebody or get on the bench.
Well, that's our synopsis for last week's game. What do you guys think? Oregon State this weekend. Cal.
Coming up, Cal got a 6 p.m. start at home.
First night game of the year, so... hell, that probably means nothing, but whatever.
Ghost will feel comfortable.
I mean, when you look at it...
The clowns may be out, so I don't know.
When you look at it, this is probably one of our higher chance games to win.
I put this as no.
Really? Okay.
No.
Well, I'm just going based off Cal is not near the top of the Pac-12. We're at home. I'm saying that if we have... All right. Let's hear your opinion.
Did you not see the game last week for Cal? Cal defeated Utah, and I was almost guaranteed in my mind Utah, Washington, collision course. And Utah kind of failed. Utah can still get there, but Utah's a great team. But David Webb showed so much poise for Cal coming into just like the Cal system after Jared Goff. I think for overall, Cal's looking pretty good. And we're getting a big win against Utah. How much better Utah than us right now? It's not going to look good coming on Saturday. Cal's going to destroy. But I hope we're wrong.
I'm not saying the Oregon State's going to win.
Second string motto.
I'm just saying, it's a 13-point spread. Mm-hmm. I could see them making a game.
Should be 17.5 again.
Should be a 25-point spread. Bet that spread. Treston Decoud's got a good chance to show himself at corner because they're going to be throwing at him.
Oh, exactly.
Everybody else in that backfield, they got a tall task ahead of them. Maybe Bright Awogbu puts in some...
Bright had a good game. He's been having a decent year. Bright, and...
He is a bright spot on our defense.
It's very true.
True.
We've had a couple bright spots there in the defense, but other than that, man.
if he shows up and shows out, they might slow down the pass game a little bit, but that's going to be a tough one.
Mm-hmm. Who do you guys think starts at quarterback? Garrettson again?
I think it's Garrettson just by what Anderson has said all week.
Yeah.
He still has that confidence in him. I don't think he finishes.
You don't think he finishes this game?
Do you think he lasts a quarter? One quarter?
Yeah.
If anything, I would say it's a halftime pull.
Yeah.
But honestly, seeing what Connor did in the game versus Colorado, that's a better defense than it was at Boise State. And I don't know. It just I don't think bringing in Connor is really the answer. And if anybody, just leave Darryl in there and just let him battle it out.
Yeah.
Or just, what the true answer is. Free Marcus. Gary, I think we're all telling you to bring in Marcus. We can maybe get a W. Do it.
Agreed. You have nothing to lose at this point. Try it.
I want to see Darryl just let it fly. He looks afraid to throw interceptions. He holds the ball 5 or 6 seconds.
He doesn't have time to hold the ball for 5 to 6 seconds.
No. Well, if he just grips and rips, throws 4 picks, I don't care. At least he'd be throwing the ball. Seth Collins, Vic Bolden, Jordan Villeman, they're our best offensive players. You have to give them a chance.
I just want to see Jordan start getting looks, too.
But like we said, he can't he can't get off the line quick enough to get the ball.
He's in a terrible situation.
So, yeah.
Well,
all right.
Let's do score predictions.
Predictions. We'll start off with Jake. Give us a score prediction.
I'm gonna go Cal 28, Oregon State 7.
You got a pretty low scoring game there. I mean,
I don't think Cal's gonna put up points, but I don't think we probably won't even put up 7 TBH. So,
well, okay.
But I hope we're wrong. Go Beavs.
Here's my take. I think Cal, they're quick. They got quick offense. They like to roll real fast in the passing game. And they're going to score. And that's going to give us the ball at times as well. So I'm seeing a 38 to, I want to give us that, but I'll bump it down to 13. 38-13, final score.
I'm going to go Cal doubles us up at 42-21. Cal.
Wow.
I've got 45-18 Cal. Hot take, Vic Bolden has more return yards in the punt and kickoff return game than our entire offense.
Woo! Hot take.
Squad will be there getting lit, though, so...
Squad is lit. If you have the opportunity, please buy into that program. You will not regret.
Please support Jeff.
Shout out to our boy Jeff. Shout out to the boy Ash. They're all homies.
Hope we win by 50.
I'll probably shoot the podcast to Jeff one day.
Hope we don't give up 50.
Yeah.
Seriously, though, Jeff, the plug.
Yeah, Squad is a great program. That is not a lie.
So if you're in Reeser on that Saturday night, we'll be there too, dealing with the pain right alongside you. So hold our hands and pass us a beer or something.
Did we ever contact? I saw we had some interactions with our fellow Colorado podcast boys.
Freeballing, yeah.
Freeballing.
I tweeted at them. We waved the white flag. I think third quarter, no response. So
yeah, but shout out Freeballing, the Colorado pod for contacting
us. They showed love.
First.
They understand the pain. Colorado was where we're at now. So
it sounded like they were listening, and
they broke news to their followers according to our podcast. So
what did we break?
It was the Connor Blunt news. They reported our podcast to someone else, Colorado fan who's asking a question.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, so shout out.
We're out here setting trends. So shout out Freeballing. Maybe we'll find a California podcast this week.
Okay, so other Pac, we got our predictions in.
Let's talk
other Pac-12 news.
Oregon.
Oregon's dressing up like Cal.
True. What do you guys think?
I just simulated something, and that's what happened.
The one thing making this season bearable for Oregon State fans is seeing
Oregon State's. Oregon's equal atrocity of a program this year.
What do you guys think of Oregon's game against Washington State last week?
Satisfied me more than a water bottle after a long 90-degree day of going without water.
Nice, good.
Man. Dehydrated Jake here.
I was clutch. I was thinking about what type of analogy. I went with the water, so screw it. Yeah, but yeah, go Cougs.
Yeah, what amazes me is just how bad also the Oregon defensive line is. If you give up 2 touchdowns to 3 individual running backs, and each running back, I don't know exactly how many yards, but I think they had all 3 running backs had over 70 maybe plus yards, and each running back had a day where you're like, oh wow, man, yeah, Washington running backs did pretty good. Every single one did good. Oregon's defensive line is trash.
Brady Hoke, new defensive coordinator. Yeah, he's doing a great job so far.
I don't think you could pin that quite on Brady exactly because a lot of it is not his recruits.
The youthness. Johnny Reagan also out for the season as well for Oregon.
Saw that.
So.
And also Oregon doing a little switch up at quarterback. Maybe.
Yeah, they are.
Putting in the freshman.
Bill Herbert?
Fresh.
Yeah.
Disgusting name.
But
Can we have a little roast of the name real quick?
Makes me think of the ice cream, sherbet, which is not a good connotation to give to a football player.
Yeah, but
Rainbow ass pile of ice cream.
how do you think the entire Hawaii Rainbow Warriors feel being rainbow ass team?
They feel shits.
Jake, wait, what's your beef with sherbet?
No, I love sherbet's delicious. I'm quite fond of the dessert sherbet.
Oh, okay.
But I'm saying his last name is not the last name you want a quarterback to have because it reminds you of a melty pile of sugary rainbows. Sherbet.
Oh, okay.
Herbert the Sherbet. You could just give him so many nicknames to make fun of him, which I already have. And
I thought you had beef with sherbet.
No, I love sherbet
All right.
as a dessert.
Good thing we've gotten that taken care of.
Okay.
Jeff would be
Needed
so
that.
disappointed right now.
True.
Actually, no. Jeff would have talked some random shit about sherbet as well.
Can I talk a little bit on Herbert?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some Herbert. All right, so my Herbert comparison would be, I think of Herbert Hoover, which
Okay.
then leads me to the Hoover Dam.
Yeah.
Strong, steady.
Yeah,
Okay.
thick.
Where's this going?
it holds back a giant mass of Oregon fan tears that are going to come flooding in when Herbert collapses against UW.
I like that.
was
Or
good.
The clacks of her.
Wish we had an
it's
applause.
also holding in all the bandwagon fans, and all the bandwagon fans are going along with the Oregon tears.
Yep.
Yeah.
You guys hear about Oregon fans breaking their ankles?
No, I didn't actually.
Please enlighten us.
Just because they were jumping off the bandwagon.
Hey,
That's good.
gotcha.
But yeah,
Wish we had some sound bites.
True.
I just gotta do it myself.
That's our
man.
soundboard.
If you couldn't hear that, that was Jake's mouth and then flicking a cup.
Yep.
So thank you.
Real ghetto times going on for the post radio show. But I mean, yeah, that's a sound.
The
bite there.
designer ad libs. Just
He's a-
what every podcast.
He's a guest
needs.
on the show. So yeah, what do you guys think about the rest of Oregon season? Because this week they got Washington, and as we've talked about in the podcast for the last 3 episodes,
Oh yeah.
Washington is a thick, thunderous monster of a football team. So
Wonder who predicted that.
Well, I think it's funny.
I give
think,
Logan the credit for
I
that.
think it might. Jeff might have had like planned technical difficulties, so he didn't have to come on
True. I was about to call
and
him
get
out.
roasted.
yeah,
because,
Jeff didn't want
Logan.
to talk for Washington.
Because if some people didn't know,
Logan's got a hard on for Washington.
I do. I'm predicting to go to college football playoff.
And you also
Okay.
booked a win versus Stanford.
I
when
booked
Jeff-
a win versus Stanford. Guaranteed a
Yeah.
win versus Stanford.
You were very confident, and Jeff was very anti.
All California teams this year are just up and down, and then concluding Stanford. Washington is the most powerhouse team coming into the conference this year.
You booked it. Jeff
I booked it.
was completely against that. Very confident in Stanford.
From the beginning. Even before Washington cracked the top 10. I'll give you that. Even
And,
before the season.
Yeah, you would have had a great time roasting Jeff on the podcast, so it's too bad he's not on here.
Yeah, Browning, Gaskin, book it. College football playoff.
Wow. Well, there you have it.
They're looking like it. Their defense is incredible, and Browning is finally coming into his
If you look,
5-star QB.
okay, looking at Washington's remaining schedule, they got Stanford out of the way. They have Oregon coming up. I think that's a guaranteed win coming up. Even though a line might not say so, because it's closer than expected, I say so. Oregon State, I booked that as a W. Utah, that's a tough game. We'll see what happens.
At Utah.
That's their toughest game. I'll put it right there. Cal, I can see that being a dub. USC, USC's are overrated. They're not as good as everyone thinks they are. USC or Arizona State, my bad, and Washington State. I see that as a very easy schedule. Even though the Pac-12 is unpredictable, I think it's happening.
I agree. I think they have a road to the college football playoff. I think you're right. You were confident about that. I'll give you that. Jake and I were not as totally against it as Jeff was.
No, you guys were still against it.
We were against it,
but not as
like
against
Jeff.
it.
True.
Not like Jeff.
Yeah. I did win $10. Shout out Nate Dogg.
True. Yeah, Nathan bet on Stanford. That didn't go well.
Nope.
If you want to make us sports bets, you can always tweet in at Second String Sports with a Z. So.
We'll give you a line. We'll create our own Second String Sports Twitter line.
All right.
Yeah, there you go. So, I agree. I think Washington has a road to the
This will be
playoff.
Washington's first win against Oregon in what? 13 games? 14 games?
I think that this is the 13th.
Wow. Well, there you go.
Yeah, it's 13. It says, can Huskies get first win versus Ducks in 13 years?
I read an article today that said the last game that Washington beat Oregon was in Autzen, and it was in like 2002, and they danced on the O after the win.
Good.
I would tiptoe on the O. I'd also like spin on it and just poop on it and stuff.
And stuff.
Wait, can you speak up louder?
Nah,
What you would do?
I'm not trying to incriminate myself in case things go down in the future.
Well,
Just kidding.
it's taking a turn. The podcast is taking a turn into incriminating Jake.
It's taking a twist. And yeah, Oregon. That summarized it pretty well. Any other Pac-12 teams we want to talk about before moving on from college football?
Washington is definitely the most
said all we
relevant
needed
right
about
now.
them. Washington is... I was going to say something, but I lost my train of thought, so...
I wish you could have seen Jake's face.
Right, Jake was trying to spit out words, but he just couldn't. The struggle's
Couldn't
real.
do it.
Okay, so NFL.
Let's talk NFL. NFL recap.
Okay,
Big games this past weekend. What do we got to talk about?
one thing that baffles me is how flipped around this league is.
Oh, it's really weird.
It is so strange. And can someone please tell me how the Los Angeles Rams are 3-1 and tied for the division?
With Case Keenum.
With Case Keenum, everyone was roasting the Rams
Or the Minnesota Vikings.
in the first couple games because they played San Francisco
They played
and looked
like
absolutely ass.
Yeah.
And now they're...
Then they played Seattle. They scored 9 points. They didn't
that-
score a touchdown in their first
that
2
game
weeks
was
of the season.
Yeah, that game was pathetic.
Scoreboard doesn't know that, Logs.
Scoreboard
very
doesn't
true.
know. It sees the touchdown and safety for all we know, so...
And yeah, it just baffles me on how some of the teams are just flipped, and it's crazy.
No,
I can't make wind of it. I think if I was making bets in the NFL, I don't think I could do it.
Yeah.
Washington's my only good bet if I was going to Vegas.
And how terrible the Panthers are, too.
Exactly. Panthers and Cardinals. A lot of people who thought could be Super Bowl.
Screw Carson Palmer.
Whoa.
Hey, Eagles are 3-0 with a rookie quarterback. Yeah.
Whoa.
Whoa, back it up.
He's my fantasy quarterback, and he's now been perpetually benched for Andy Dalton, so Carson Palmer can keep his concussion for all I care.
All right, well, maybe...
Brain injury is a serious
maybe-
issue, Jake.
Yeah, Jake. Have you seen the movie
true.
Concussion? Shout out Will Smith.
That movie looked terrible, so I did not view.
Tell the truth. It's a decent movie.
So I did not view.
What else in the NFL?
Hey,
we
Eagles
could talk
3-0
some
with
fantasy as
Carson
well. Everyone here is partaking.
He went there.
He went there. Should have went first.
Should have went for
Wentz
Should have went first.
When's a god?
You just go from your incredible hate on Carson Palmer.
I used to love Carson when in the Cincinnati days, but now it's just screwing
Wait,
week in, week out.
Did you love Carson during his Bengal days because of TJ and Chad?
Well, yeah, mainly that. But I was a big Carson Hushmanzada Connection fan. I had a Carson jersey.
Did you like his also beef kind of colors there? You could kind of match some stuff.
That's why I liked him when I was young. So
I can see it.
big young Bengal guy. Go Beavs.
Other NFL news.
Julio Jones absolutely demolished this week.
300 yards.
Yeah, that was quite impressive.
To say the least. Matt Ryan as well.
If Josh Norman was on the Panthers, that would not have been 300 yards.
No. Julio would have got his head ripped off before he allowed Julio Jones 300 yards.
It's true.
The undefeated team of Gran Ocampo also handed me a loss in fantasy this week, which also upset me very much. So,
Jake is
not
still
going to correct you because you called me undefeated.
Jake getting kind of salty about fantasy here on the podcast.
I am. I'm 1-3.
Ooh! You smell that?
Comeback, yeah.
I smell that trash.
We got a 1-3 sitting next to me as well.
I'm 1-3 also.
So the trash pile
I
is
got Tom Brady
accumulating.
coming back. We're making a comeback.
Well, as long as he hands the ball off to LeGarrette, I'm fine with
Will
that.
Fuller, fantasy surprise. He's been eating.
True.
He puts in work. Had 20 on my bench.
True. Des Bryant, still a massive disappointment to all.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Will he play this weekend? Probably doesn't matter because I'm not going to start him. But
What else we got for NFL wise?
NFL.
I want to hear people's takes on Odell Beckham.
Ooh, yeah.
I like it.
That'll be the singular clip of the show that we talk about here. So,
You know, it really gives me a. I like it. I like the drama. I love the diva-ness of the NFL wide receivers. It's coming back. I really feel like in the past couple of years, before there was a great divas during T.O. and Chad Johnson. Yeah. I loved it. It was great.
It was a lot of fun.
Really, this is bringing me back to like the good old days of good diva wide receivers. And
I wouldn't call this a good type of diva.
I love it. I think it's great. It gives it's not great for the Giants because it gives them a little chemistry issues here and there. But I think it's funny. I think it's a hilarious story. I think Odell Beckham's a clown.
Odell a clown. Odell low-key clowning.
But I think it's hilarious, and that's why I love it.
Yeah,
okay, I can respect that.
It adds another storyline to the game.
Yeah.
And I agree. I think it's really entertaining. I do agree. It's not good for the Giants whatsoever.
But it's entertaining.
It is definitely
It's entertaining, but it's not good, and I don't like it.
Oh,
Not a fan?
Not an Odell
not
fan.
a fan of the clowns.
Those two.
We've had
I think Odell
clowns.
bounced back. All good divas do it. In the words of Fabulous, Odell Beckham, respect him. You can't check him.
I love the
Not all divas bounce back. I mean, Whitney Houston.
Fabulous made an appearance on the podcast.
Jake just
I also just made a
Whitney
Houston death joke.
Wow.
That's not funny.
You are
Take that back.
You are on one
Nah.
today.
I'm not taking it back.
This is taking a bad turn.
All right, we'll kind of. I guess we're gonna
segue from that.
We're gonna kind of close out the podcast here on a little MLB talk, real quick. We're actually watching this live. We got San Francisco, New York, still tied at 0-1. We'll give an update later on if we're still on. But last night's game, Blue Jays, Orioles. I don't know if everyone saw this. Jeff would have been into this right now too. Kind of feel bad leaving Jeff's out of this, but man, Toronto lit, walk off, Edwin, GOAT.
That was just a bunch of different words strung into a sentence. I love
What can top that?
That was a shot. Too.
It just like brings back the memories of Jose Bow just hitting that dinger.
Bow?
Yeah.
Isn't that the sound that the dude makes in Mario?
Bowser?
Bowser?
Maybe. I don't know if he actually makes that
I
sound.
don't think he makes that sound, Jake.
That was just me giving him a little lingo.
Okay.
But no. That was a great walk-off last night, and no one else is really... Grant's over here still tuning into his Giants.
No, I am. I mean, Giants, it's right now, we'll give a little scene. It is top 9, Giants, 1 runner on second, 1 out. Pitch was just bouncing to the dirt, so now you can know exactly.
He rolled up his arm, real slow like.
To give a prediction.
It's been a pitcher's duel.
To give a prediction, who are you taking for the World Series?
I got the Giants. I got the Giants because I put $20 on them in Vegas, so yeah, I have my money behind that. they win, I get 260. So I got to go Giants. It's an even year.
Interesting.
Toronto Blue Jays.
Hey!
Blessed by the sixth god.
Jake, what do you got?
Don't care. Whoever makes the most people mad.
See, a lot of people...
Last Jake.
For me, who I'm actually going to be trying to root for...
What team will
None.
piss people off if they win the World Series?
Maybe the Giants.
Let's go Giants.
Probably.
Yeah.
Let's go Giants.
Because
Bandwagon ass Jake.
Yeah.
Hey, I was just at a game a month ago.
So, I think...
So I'm a fan.
I think a series that I would maybe... It'd be interesting for baseball fans to root for would be definitely a Cubs-Red Sox because it'd be kind of historic-ish for that to happen. But I would...
The Cubs were really good last year, though, right?
Yeah, they're good this year, too. They're better this year.
Yeah, exactly as I predicted.
We got baseball knowledge Jake over here.
The show would be a full 2 minutes if I did a baseball segment, but... Any last-minute thoughts from the co-host, Evan? Patty cake. You already gave your patty cake of the week, so...
I already gave my patty cake,
For
but
all
I
the-
can give it back to him. Sean Harlow, please step up this week.
Yeah, okay. He just got served on the plate again. For all the podcast listeners, both new and returning listeners, Evan will be a reoccurring segment on the show, slanging out his patty cake of the week, which basically is just shaming a sports per situation, performance, individual who just... needs to be shamed, needs to be roasted, right?
Yeah, just do your job and you won't be the patty cake of the week.
you
Also,
go.
D'Angelo Russell, don't say you used to play 2K with Luke Walton, because that also qualifies as patty cake of the week, you suck up.
Evan's been holding that one in. So yeah, this has been another edition of the Second String Sports Show. We got Oregon State Cal this weekend, night game. Looking forward to that. We'll all be there. As we say on the show, time in and time again, I hope we're wrong with our predictions. I hope we're drastically wrong for the rest of the season as well.
Except Washington.
Yeah, except Washington. I'm rooting for Washington. Screw it. Actually, big Colorado guy now.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Oregon fans hate Washington, so I have to respect Washington a little bit.
There it
Fun
is.
fact, did you know how the rivalry started with Oregon-Washington?
No, I don't.
It was actually in 1948 when Washington voted to remove Oregon State and Oregon out of the conference, and it actually went through for a year. And I guess Oregon State just didn't care. And Oregon has held a grudge ever since.
We've been Boolin fam.
we were like, okay, cool. Oregon State Ben show.
That is the fight that Oregon State has had in the first half of games this season.
Well, thanks for listening. Shout out Jeff for not being able to make it. He'll be back for the next episode. You can keep up with the games and our tweets at Second String Sports with a Z on Twitter, or hashtag Second String Sports if there's anything you want to tag us in or for us to talk about. I'm Jake.
Logan.
Grant.
And Evan.
Shout out Evan. Thanks for listening. Go Beavs. Second String Sports. Peace.